Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night. We're so happy to have you. We have got something special in store tonight. So, in addition to all of our wonderful information we're going to share with you about the body's ability to regenerate and repair using your own body heat and body light with our patches, we're going to talk about the power of water. Water and light are very powerful. And we're going to talk about the new water machine that David Schmidt, our inventor, has come up with. So happy to have you here. And I've got Jody Trueblood, my bonus mom, helping tonight. And then we have Jan Rand, who happens to be Marcy's bestest friend and very fabulous assistant. So I'm very happy, and Jan's going to help with the presentation. And we have two really great testimonies for you tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll get started. So what we're talking about tonight is the power of the patch. And this patch is a, there we go. It is a, there we go. It is a phototherapy wearable patch, all natural, and it makes incredible change in the body. It's just a tool to help the body regulate and make improvements for anything you might be dealing with. And what we're talking about is helping people that might have run across this little statement I found the other day on social media, and it really touched my heart and made me stop and think. You can have 1,000 problems in life until you have a health problem, and then you only have one. And suddenly, the things you once worried about seem so small because nothing else matters when your body or mind is screaming for help. And isn't that so true? I had a couple conversations today with people, one preparing for a knee replacement, the other in terrible back pain. And both of them said, life isn't worth living if I have to live like this forever. And we're so lucky to be able to have an option to share that makes a difference. So what we're talking about tonight is the power of light. And you've heard a lot in the media, I'm sure, about red light technology. And you can see it here, the red light wand, some have pads, infrared sauna, MRIs, laser light, very, very powerful. It's just harnessing the power of light in different forms. But those are all synthetic and very expensive, sometimes dangerous in the wrong hands. What we're talking about tonight is our own light and the body's ability to make change. So before I get too deep in this, though, I do want to let you know, probably hugely surprising to you all, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional or anybody like that. I'm not going to be trying to diagnose or treat any medical condition. We always want you to consult with your doctor regarding any issues or medical treatments you might be in need of. What we're talking about tonight is a holistic wellness product in terms of how the FDA categorizes this. Sure made a difference in my life, I will tell you. I lost my brain during menopause, and this brought it back really quickly. But I want to talk about the problem because I don't care who you are. At some point in your life, you're all going to hit the same problem. And most of us don't ever get educated why this problem starts happening. Like the two ladies I talked to today with excruciating pain, they didn't realize that their stem cells were the cause of their problem because they decline. And that's Mother Nature's design. And when we're a newborn baby, you can see the chart over here on the left. Those newborn babies are full of stem cells because that's how a baby's created in utero. It's one stem cell dividing to create that beautiful little baby body. When we're young children, we've started to lose some, but we sleep great. We don't have gray hair or wrinkles. We heal really quickly after we fall down and scrape our knee. But about age 30, 35, we've lost half of our stem cells. And that's when we start noticing things declining in our health. And oftentimes it begins with sleep or memory. You can't remember things like you used to. Where did my car keys go? On and on and on. But by age 60, you only have a very small percentage of your own stem cells remaining. And that is when things really start to go awry. But here's the good news. What we're here to talk about is something you probably never learned about from your doctor. You probably never learned also how to repair that problem or reverse that trend. But if we could show you a safe and an affordable way to change the trajectory of your aging, would you be interested? And when we tell you it's about the cost of a cup of coffee, might that be even more appealing? So the good news is, it's what we're talking about. We're talking about X39. That's our flagship product. And it is a light technology patch. It's made out of organic materials to form a crystal lattice. And it acts as a reflector of light. So think of looking in the mirror. It's that reflection coming back at us that's doing the big work here. And the light that we're talking about is called bioluminescence. And it is light you can't see to your naked eye. But if you put on night vision goggles, you can see people glowing. And that's the light that is doing the change in the body. So I mentioned it's cellular and it's activating and raising a peptide in our body called GHK copper peptide. And you might remember about 50 years ago, people started wearing copper bracelets. And it was the discovery of that peptide as a fountain of youth. And what we have is actually so much more powerful than a copper bracelet. But those things are still great, but this is a game changer. The beautiful thing is it's so simple. You put on what looks like a Band-Aid or a patch, and it is body heat activated, reflecting your own light, like we talked about, that low-level infrared light back into the body. You wear these 12 hours on, 12 hours off. You repeat daily, 1 month for every decade you are old. And what you'll find you start doing is you get your own repair cells elevated so it can start making change. And that change can be rapid pain relief, it can be inflammation reduction, rapid wound, bruise, incision, whatever that issue is on the skin can really regenerate quickly. It's helping with energy and vitality, in appearance of skin, recovery from exercise. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on. And what I love about this is there's no chemicals. So you don't have to worry about stimulants or drug interactions. There's zero side effects. And this is a privately held company. They have over 100 US patents on the age reversal category. So game changer. Nobody out there has this kind of stuff. And you can't get it anywhere else. So it's pretty great. What we're talking about, though, is activating those repair cells so they can go in, regenerate, and prevent. And you might ask, well, why? Why would I want to have these cells come back? Well, when you get enough of those repair cells back, they can turn on and create new blank ones, which are what these little babies, and if you've ever heard of somebody getting stem cell injections, they always want the umbilical cord kind because those are blanks. They're called pluripotent. And that means they can become whatever cell your body is lacking or might not be working properly. And it can help repair whatever you might be dealing with those cells. Here's the reality. Those injections that people have gotten, the best ones, the best stem cells, you can't get in America anymore. You are going out of country and you're paying a lot of money. You're talking 10, 15, $30,000 for an injection. You might be going to Germany, Greece, Panama. But once you get these repair cell armies marching, game changer. So this is my favorite part of the night, and I would love to, let's start with Karen if we could. I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute. And Karen, would you mind unmuting yourself and telling us your story? So Karen is a friend and she is a nurse. And she was on here just a few weeks ago with a testimonial. And do you see the little microphone button down there? If you hit the red microphone, you might have to move your mouse to kind of get the keypad pulled back up. Let's see, I wish I could do it. It doesn't give me the ability to undo it for you. If you just move your mouse around and click on that red microphone, it'll just toggle off. Ah, there you go. You got it.
How's that?
That's beautiful. Wonderful, Karen. Well, why don't you tell everybody what your last testimony was, and then tell us what your chiropractor added to it.
Okay, my last testimony. Well, let's see, I actually pulled out the results of my MRIs in
Oh,
2000.
well, just go with the MRI stuff then. That's great. And if you think
Yeah.
of anything else, add it in. But the
Yeah.
MRI is fabulous.
Yes. Okay. So July 11th, 2019, I had an MRI, and I was having a lot of problems with my neck, my spine. I had a big lump right underneath, right down from my neck. And so I had issues there, and I had issues below. And so they found that I had all these changes associated with moderate to advanced degenerative disc disease. And from my C1 to C2, C2, all the way down this area of my neck. And then I don't know if you can see my hand, but right there, I even had a lump. And so also they found on my L4 and L5 that there was hypertrophy, which basically means swelling. And they even mentioned scoliosis and all sorts of stuff that I didn't like. And I went to my doctor, and he said, well, the only thing we can do is keep you comfortable. And I thought, huh, I don't think so. So anyway, I continued to be in Miami. And then when I came here, actually last year, I heard from a friend of mine in North Carolina about LifeWave. And I go, what is it? And she said, well, I'm using them because I have problems with my legs, and I went and I had stem cell injections and paid $9,000 a leg to have them done, and then they didn't even last. So anyway, I was looking on YouTube. I was looking everywhere, and I couldn't even find the website. And then my friend Sandy called me and told me, you want to go to a LifeWave party? And I said, what's that? And she goes, well, it's a patch party, and it's about the patch, and it brings light into your mind. I said, yes. So long story making short, I've been going to a chiropractor, and he's very good. And I would go in, and he would say, you look great. And I go, well, how am I doing? He goes, well, you have the body of a 40-year-old. And I just turned 76. And then 2 weeks ago, he said to me, you know, you are really doing good. And he goes, most people that come in with your injury don't get better, they get worse. He says, but you're getting better. And he started hearing about the patches, and now he has clients that come in and are using them also. But the really good thing was last week I saw him, and he said, the injury you came in with is almost gone.
Wow. Ah, hallelujah.
Gone. You know, and chiropractors don't lie. That, you know, and I thought, wow, from this to what it says on here, it's I'm a nurse. I know all that it means, and to now, and plus that, my hair is growing like a weed. Going back to my natural color, and my stamina, and just my overall health. You know, my family's looking at me, even my daughter, and you know, now I thought that I was going to have to go in for a knee transplant or something, but no, my right knee is getting better and I'm able to go up the stairs at times. And I mean,
Yay.
but I just want to say one thing about the patches. You have to be diligent. You have to take supplements. You have to exercise. You have to drink water. You have to take care of yourself. The patches do work, but you've got to be diligent about it.
That's great advice, Karen. Yeah, for sure. And we're going to get into water. And that's one of the really key things that make these
Oh yeah,
patches really excel at what they do. But
yeah.
thank you so much. It's so fun that we get to learn from people. And I just love that you're an encore performance. So thank you for that.
With more coming, with more.
Yes, I know more good stuff's coming your way for sure. Thank you,
Yeah.
Karen. And Doris, we'd love to have you share your story and what you've noticed with the patches and what were you dealing with?
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Doris Hughes Green. Um, excuse me. Yes, I have carpal tunnel. So I went to the doctor and have them to check me to see how bad it was. Well, going in and they stuck me in my hands in the palms, not in the near my thumb, and it made my legs. Both of them came off the table when they did it. Doctor said, you have carpal tunnel. Your nerves are bad, all in your legs. And they wanted to do surgery right away, but I'm the mother of a special needs child. I couldn't do that. Lo and behold, all of a sudden, I began to jerk. The nerves got agitated. I jerked, and I was scared because I wasn't getting much sleep because, rest is very important. And I was only getting maybe 4 hours of sleep after shaking and jerking. Finally, I would relax and go to sleep. And then when I wake up, I jerk some more. And then I have to relax and go to sleep. And so I was telling Veronique, she's into the patches, and she was telling me about the patches. And she gave me a couple to use, 39 to put on the back of my neck, and Wyon, I don't have it in front of me,
Oh,
but yeah,
Eon. Uh-huh.
Eon. I put that on my wrist, and that night after I took it off after 12 hours, I really did some jerking, and you guys said, I think it's working. It's working because so I says, order me some patches. I don't want to hear nothing. I got to see for myself. And I hope that those that are on here listening, you got to try it to see. Don't be hesitant. I tried those patches, and in three days, my nerves calmed down. They're just as calm. I feel so good. I'm not jerking. I mean, I'm not saying it's a cure-all, but it has really settled my nerves down.
Wonderful.
And the fact that it says that it's cleaning the toxin out of you, so therefore you got to drink lots of water. Well, my Lord, drank all the water and then the weight came off. I'm like, wow, I done lost some weight. Like, look at my face. It scared me. I'm like, ooh, I don't want to lose no more. But the water is causing me to lose weight. And boy, does it feel good to drink the water. So the patches are working. So, I'm doing something. I'm testing my medication, okay? I'm backing off of it for a minute just to see. And I went to the dentist and they did my blood pressure. So I take blood pressure medicine. When they got done checking my blood pressure, I was really impressed how low it was. And I'm not taking medicine. So I'm like, something is switching here. But also, I take diabetes medicine. Now I want to go to the doctor and see what those results are. And just to see, because the only way you would know if anything works is you got to try it. So I truly believe in these patches. And as far as the sleep, She shared one that would put on at night to help me sleep. Oh my God, I sleep like a baby. Very good.
I bet you
So
that's the Alavita patch.
it
That
is. It is.
yeah, I
So
love it
now
too.
I'm on a mission to get this out to everybody because I have a business where I want to get products in the hands of people so we can educate them. So this is definitely one that I want people to try. And I'm just going to tell them, look, you got to buy it to see. And I know people that's with back problems, all kind of problems that are laying on the floor because their backs is hurting. So I'm thinking about, okay, that would be great. I will
Yeah.
share that with others. So
Oh,
yeah, the
Doris, thank
patches.
you. Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
you're
really
welcome.
those kind of results you can't buy. That's priceless. So thank you so much for sharing. People love
You are
learning.
welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to go back into sharing my screen here, and we're going to proceed on. So what we're talking about is the secret sauce for a lot of celebrity athletes, people you know, Venus and Serena Williams, Michael Phelps, David Beckham, and it allows them to have energy, recovery, endurance. But about 5 years ago, X39 was created. The owner and inventor of our company, David Schmidt, genius man, figured out how to allow the body to re-elevate the dormant stem cells. And that is when this company started sharing this with people like you and I, just so average consumers could learn more about it. And we have a website. So tonight we are just going to touch the surface, but this website is excellent because you can go down and watch some videos, see pictures, and a lot of the information I'll share tonight, you can go back at your leisure or use this to share with someone you care about who's dealing with a problem. Start x39now.com. And if you scroll down past the pictures and the testimonies, you're going to come to a science community page, which I love. It's got all the good information. So if you've got a doctor or somebody who really needs the data, it's all right here. My favorite section is this age reversal with that GHK copper peptide. And if you go there, it is very interesting. Talks about, in summary, some of the studies they've done. So one of the studies I was really impressed with is on the cardiovascular age, because they found that after 6 weeks of wearing X39, participants lowered their cardiovascular age on average about 8 weeks. So there's really nothing out there on this planet that helps you, do something pretty minimal like this and have that kind of a regenerative effect. So for every day you wear X39, your cardiovascular system acts about a day and a third younger. And we've heard some pretty remarkable heart transformations. We're going to have Dr. Harmon on here Monday, February the 24th, and he's going to share his heart story with you. You're going to really be impressed with that one. They also did a brain health study doing heat mapping EEGs. And this session one here is a 77-year-old woman with dementia. The orange and the red you see is heat or inflammation in her brain. That's putting pressure on blood vessels that prevent that blood flow from being really nice and strong and keeping that brain fresh and a good memory. But she starts using X39 in session 2, the middle one. That brain goes very cold. This is the body making change. The patch is just a signaling device, just like sunshine hits our skin, tells our body to make vitamin D3. That's what's happening here, but it's the patch. And so the brain is getting colder. It's not a hot brain, but it's not a perfect brain yet either. But in session 3, now we're looking at just 6 weeks. 6 weeks, this brain has rewired, and that's a perfectly lovely, beautiful brain that has memories again. And I got to hear her story, and it was a pretty great one. And that's really helping with cognition. So the FDA doesn't like us to say a lot of things, right? But we can show you pictures. I'm just going to go through these really quickly to give you an idea of the range of things that this is capable of. Rapid repair, snowboard accident, 5 days, open heart surgery. The middle image is Mother Nature's repair job after 1 year. The far right, that's just 1 month adding X39. Look at the difference. That collagen is all filled in. It's, recontoured. It's such a pretty scar. This is Dr. Harmon, who will be here Monday the 24th. And this is really the difference of anti-aging, which is so yesterday, and age reversal, which is what we're all about. Because who wants to stay looking like the old grandpa that he was? Why not become hot dude like he is here? And that hair color, that's his own natural hair color that came back. And this lady, Mandy, look at her. She starts out looking like grandma. She becomes maybe the daughter, but she looks like the college age granddaughter now after a year. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, just beautiful. Who doesn't want that? Skin repair. So we're bringing back collagen, hyaluronic acid for tightening of the décolleté, remodeling that birthmark, filling in the collagen around varicose veins. Who doesn't want that? I bet that person's wearing shorts a whole lot more now. Sleep. And Doris just mentioned the importance of sleep because that's when our body heals and purges a lot of toxins. So if you're a night owl and insomniac, don't let that linger too long because it really can lead to long-term issues. But we have a combination of patches. If X39 and Eon alone are not enough, we can add Alavita. And then the next level up is the silent night, where we're going directly to the melatonin elevation. But most people don't even need the silent night. We get them sleeping pretty well with the others. Hormone rebalancing. Man, I wish I'd had this when I was in school because that was me. Hair regrowth. That was 5 weeks for that guy. Spine alignment. Okay, this is exactly what Karen was just explaining to you. She had degenerative disc disease. On the left, this is bulging discs between the C7 and the T1 is that black disc putting pressure on that spinal column. And that's all regenerated. In the right-hand picture here, you can see that's the same person after several months of using patches, drinking their water. We're going to talk more about water. That's big. This lady over here, look at this curvature of the spine. That ice wave just helps the body relax, get out of pain. And then the X39 goes in and helps realign that. That's pretty great. I had a similar thing like that I didn't expect with my bunion on my foot that went away. I got to cancel a surgery. That's a cool thing when that happens. This is our friend, Marcy Preble, and we are so thankful for her. And if Marcy wasn't here, none of us would be here. She was really thinking she was at the end of her days with stage 3 breast lymph and a very aggressive fast-growing cells of the skin, the type that never go into remission, or so her doctor told her. Luckily, her naturopath gave her 10 of these patches, and she went into remission. And she's 5 years and just getting better and better all the time. She's so gracious and kind. That website I showed you, this lady pays for. And all of these resources we have are because she is such a caring person who wants the world to know about it. This is a lady here that has some radiation on her face, some damage. It's a very painful process. Luckily, her friend shared this with her, and look at her 3 weeks later. I mean, that's priceless. I love that these are not just for people, but they are for our fur babies. And this is my friend's dog who went blind, Brutus. And we actually were able to help Brutus regain his vision, which was pretty shocking to all of us. But they've been using these on racehorses for years. We do have some combinations. If you're dealing with problematic things, get back with the person who invited you here tonight, and we can help you, or I can. Bone on bone, a combination of patches. Plus, David recommends we use collagen and vitamin C. So we always want some other foundational building blocks in our body. We need water, we need good food to let these do their best job. This gut regeneration system, oh my goodness, game changer. We never start here in the first month because this is a big detox. But what we're doing is we're allowing the gut to rebalance itself by removing inflammation and toxins. We're also balancing the endocrine system, which ends up balancing the sugar in our body and through insulin, which is actually a hormone. And you can see here the SP6 patch raises that endocrine system in 87% in just 7 days. I'm wearing it today on the inside of my left ankle. And I realized about 4:30 I never ate lunch today because when your blood sugar gets elevated, you just don't get the cravings and the constant feed me messaging and signaling. I love it because I'm a sugar nut. And if I can skip a few meals, it does me some good. But great stuff. But I'm going to turn it over now to our friend Jan. And Jan's going to tell you about how you can get your hands on these amazing patches.
Thank you, Tracy. So, There's a couple of different ways. The first way is retail, where you're paying full price, $149.95 for, it's called the sleeve, which is 30 patches. I would never, I mean, if that's what you want to do, great, but I never recommend that to anybody. And then we have a preferred customer program which requires you to go on auto ship, and that would be $99.95 a month. Okay, can you go down to the packs? Oh, so the supportive patches. So some of the supportive patches that Tracey's talked about, Eon reduces inflammation and reduces stress. And we call Eon and X39 the dynamic duo. So has anyone remember Pac-Man, the little yellow guy going around eating all the little dots? Imagine that Pac-Man is the inflammation. So when people go and get stem cell injections, those stem cells just become a buffet for Pac-Man, right? So you just spent $20,000 to feed your inflammation. So by using the Eon along with the X39, it turbocharges it. So those two are repairing. LifeWave is a 2-patch system, and it breaks the connection in pain. And I finally have an LifeWave story. I never really had a lot of pain, but I tore the meniscus in my knee and my shin bone killed. So I put 2 sets of LifeWave on one on the bottom of my shin, one on the top, just below my knee, completely stopped the pain. So if you have pain, LifeWave is really great to use. It doesn't repair anything, but it takes the pain away while the Eon and the X39 do the regenerating. The key thing is some people have results in a day, some people 3 weeks, some people it could take 3 or 4 months. You really have to give it time. This isn't a miracle. The patch isn't repairing your body. The patch is giving your body what your body needs to regenerate. And then Alavita elevates your collagen, supports brain and telomeres. And everything that David does, he studies from the earth. So why do lobsters live so long? And the older they get, the better they get. It's because their telomeres, which is the lady fingers of your DNA. So when the lady fingers of your DNA are long and healthy, you live long. When they get short and stubby, you die. So Alavita helps those telomeres to get long and healthy. And that's why if you've ever heard of the blue zones, those people, they have long, healthy telomeres and their glutathione levels are really high. And there's like 5 zones in the world. Okay. Oh, retail. I talked about retail purchase one time. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. First time I'm seeing this, I'm trying to figure it out. So to buy one sleeve of it, it's called a supportive patch. Retail is $79. If you buy it retail, wholesale, it would be $69. And then when you buy 3 packs, it comes down to $49.95 for 3 different supportive patches. Those are considered supportive patches. Okay, I'm with you now, Tracey. Sorry.
Okay. Oh,
And now,
yeah, go ahead.
we just came out with this new product, the morning cellulizer and an evening cellulizer. And what this is David always talks about the body having the right nutrients and all the enzymes and all that stuff. And if you went out and had to buy all this stuff, it would be very expensive. So what he did is he put all the important enzymes and I forgot the other word, but they're all in the one morning formula. So when you use this, it's going to make the patches work better. And then he has a nighttime formula that has more magnesium and it calms your system down in the evening. So the cellulizer just came out. They just had a promotion on it. I think you'll be able to purchase it again the beginning of March. So, and I think it's $70. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, then we have 3 packs that you can buy. I'm going to start high and go low. So the premium pack is for if you have a big family, if you have some kind of a practice, you know, you're a massage therapist or a chiropractor and you want to have stock for your shop, or if you just know if you're an entrepreneur and you see the business opportunity here and you just want to hit the road running, the premium pack is the way to go. And it also brings the price point down per sleeve to the lowest point that you can get it at. So that's $17.50, and it's a one-time. You only buy the packs one time, and I won't go into that. Okay, so the premium pack is awesome, and you get the points where it says 20 points, 6 points, and 3 points. That 20 points means you could do 20 packs of X39, or you could do 10 packs of X39, and then you could do 20 packs of supportive patches. So X39 and X49, if you see the point allocation below there, it says 1 point for X39, 1 point for X49, and then all the supportive patches are a half a point. So again, if you did the premium pack and you did 10 X39s, that's 10 points, and then 0.5 for all the supportive. So if you did 20, that would be another 10 points. So there would be your 20 points. The advanced pack is $535. Again, it's one time, and that would be great for if you have 2 people in the house using it. And that's 6 points. So you could technically do 6 sleeves of X39, or you could do 3 X39 and 6 supportive patches. So you just figure it out. 1 point for X39, 1 point for X49, which we didn't talk about, and then 0.5 for all the supportive patches. And we didn't really talk about the skincare, so I won't talk about that. And then the core pack is for the individual. You get, it's 3 points, so you could do 3 X39s. Most people will do 1 X39, 3 Eon, and an LifeWave, and then you always do an X39 the following month to keep your stem cells activated. If you buy the core pack, you can always upgrade to the next pack if you want. So when I came in, just go back 1 second, Trace, sorry. So when I came in, I did the core pack, and I wasn't really sure, you know, what I was going to do with this, and I started sharing, and it's like, okay, so I needed more product. So I upgraded from core to advanced. So you just pay the difference. So you subtract the $295 from $535, and then you get the difference in product. And then the next month, I was doing so well and I loved the product, I needed more product. So I upgraded from the advanced to the premium. So again, you subtract the $535 from the $1750, you pay the difference, and then you get the difference in product. Okay, so that's that. So we have a promotion going on right now. If you buy, you get a free silent night with the purchase of the X39 and X49 performance bundle. So Tracey told you what the X39 was. X49 also activates stem cell, but it's more specific to bone, muscle, heart, and brain. I use the X49 religiously because I have osteoporosis. I refuse to take the drug that they wanted to put me on. All those drugs, we've all heard it. It will fix this, but it's going to give you 18 other things. So do I want the thing that I have, or do I want to fix that and have kidney issues and liver, possibly want to kill myself, you know, because it's suicidal, or you could go blind, or a million things. So I didn't want to take the drug. So I've been using X49 in my last 2 bone density tests. It hasn't gotten any worse, which I'll take that. I'm really happy with that. So that's a great deal. So for $179, you get the X39, X49, and you get a free silent night through February 23rd.
Thank you, Jan. I appreciate you going through the patches. She's our expert. We all learned through her and Marcy. So thank you so much. But for some of us, we look at this as we should just simply share a gift of health, and the rewards are priceless. So it's pretty fun when, you know, my mom, we got to go to her pulmonologist and learn her COPD and her sleep apnea have all regenerated. She got rid of that machine. That is priceless. So pretty exciting. And due to the FDA regulations, this company really can't advertise in the conventional sense. This is not a space that the FDA wants competition for big pharma. So it takes somebody sharing, and we kind of look at that as a little bit of a social responsibility to help people live their best life and get let in on this most incredible secret. And for the second year in a row, this is the fastest growing direct marketing company in the world. So pretty great. And if you did want to place an order, you can get back with the person who invited you here tonight. And the wholesale price pack comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. We never have people who want their money back because they'd much rather have better health. because you can't take the money with you, but life is sure better when you feel good. We're here every Monday and Tuesday night, and it's usually a combination of Cammie and Joy and I and Jody and Jan, and one of it, somebody's here to share this. So 6 o'clock Pacific time. Monday's just a quick intro, 30 minutes. And then Tuesday night is our expanded version where we do a deep dive on a topic. And then Marcy and Jan every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. They do a real fun patching party too, and they do a spin the wheel to win some prizes for new guests. So I found this little quote today online. I thought it was very fitting. Health is happiness. So let's start your journey to a healthier and happier life. Who doesn't want that? So if this is your first time, joining us today,